Hello, everybody. Welcome to Honest Trailer Commentaries. We're here to break down the honest trailer for Ghost in the Shell.
Yes.
Not the good one, the one starring Scarlett Johansson.
No.
Yay. Where, we just released the trailer on our YouTube channel, and here is the show, which we've been doing on our Plus channel, but now we're doing here to break down sort of our thoughts on the film, and we have some outtakes, yes, of jokes that didn't make it in, which you'll be able to see at the end of this trailer commentary, as well as to discuss it. Let's get right to it. Joe Starr, how you doing, Joe?
I'm happy to be here talking about this terrible movie.
Spencer Gilbert.
Here, just realizing that Joe wasn't wearing the hat, ironically, over the weekend. He's really committing to the hat.
Yeah, it's a good hat.
It's a Yojimbo hat?
Yeah, Usagi Yojimbo hat.
Yeah.
It's an old comic book, Spencer.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Throwing shade right away. Dan Merle.
You thought Comic-Con would have brought us together, and yet it seems to have torn us apart.
When Joe made Spencer do a whole rant about his tiny wiener, I mean, I think on Flickbait, I think all bets are off.
I don't have a Red Hot Chili Peppers lower back tattoo, so we'll never be completely on the same page.
I don't get it.
I just want to watch this all day.
I know, right?
This has begun. It's finally off us, and
I know,
now it's on them.
I'm glad the passive aggressiveness has shifted to this side of the table.
It's about time we had another rift brewing.
Right?
Dan Andy needs a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Have you guys healed?
Yes.
Did you guys figure out your Jurassic World stuff?
We did. I've come around. I told him he was right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's talk about this movie, though, because this movie's not right. Right?
It's not great.
I mean, visually it's cool. Can we give it? Let's go positive. There's some cool visuals.
It looks great. It's kind of its fault, but it's not, because it looks very derivative of other sci-fi movies. I get that Ghost in the Shell inspired a lot of sci-fi movies, so you can't totally fault that. But when I was watching it, I'm like, yeah, but you still made it look like Blade Runner a little bit.
Yeah, because even the original does not look like Blade Runner. Like, the city doesn't look like that. It looks very different. So
it's 50-50. It's like, part of it is it's just naturally going to feel like that because other movies took from it. And part of it is like, I really don't think they did a lot to make it feel different.
Wait, did they take from Blade Runner or did Blade? No,
Blade Runner was before Ghost in the Shell. That's what I'm saying. Like, Ghost in this movie, like, I get that there's some things in this movie that are going to be like Matrix because this movie inspired the Matrix so heavily. However, that doesn't mean, then why did this movie seem to take things from Blade Runner? It still felt very generic sci-fi, maybe in places where it wasn't forced to be.
Spencer, you look confused.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. This movie just looked like Tokyo today, or just an Asian city. It was just plus holograms. So I thought that there was really cool imagery in the trailers, at least, but I don't know. The movie's so boring. The movie has nothing outside of Scarlett Johansson's monotone character crisis. There's nothing to like get invested in. It's really just like a series of kind of cool images, and then it ends.
Yep,
so
it sums it up.
Yeah, it's short too. It's like a 90-minute movie.
Which hey, that's a positive.
That's a positive. But it's also like, I guess they just didn't have much story to tell except the barest bones summary of the anime. So okay. Next.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything else to add before we play this thing and watch it through?
Not really, no.
I apologize for making fun of Joe's hat.
Spencer felt bad.
I did feel bad.
Honest bros.
Yeah.
The riff's gone. Come on, I was excited for a new riff.
Yeah.
What is that?
I'm just confused by it.
Oh, I do like him. Yeah, I give you a high five. Yeah, I got that action figure.
It was handed to me by the man who created the character. It was nice.
That's cool.
Oh, well, see? Gotta lead with that.
Yeah.
Now, don't you feel like a dick?
Yeah.
It's so rare to see Spencer regret. Rewind.
I can't wait.
My other favorite Spencer regret moment is you against Seth Rogen trying to argue the Green Hornet. I want to see Seth Rogen do Seth Rogen things. Sorry.
I can't wait to see Channing Tatum play Usagi Yojimbo in the eventual Hollywood movie.
I can totally see that, strangely. He can totally look like a rabbit.
Hi, it's me, a samurai rabbit.
Give him some rabbit ears.
I would have kind of rabbit man. He just starts dancing.
What's up, dog?
That's a totally different rabbit joke.
Let's watch this trailer before things go even worse. This is what we typically do here. We watch the trailer and we'll pause and stop. And it's like a reaction video. So many people react to these videos already. Why not us doing it?
Behind Snow White and the Huntsman and Transformers 2, 3, and 4. Oh no! Comes the glossy Hollywood adaptation
of a beloved. How does this work?
Yeah. I mean, this guy...
Does they make money?
The director, I can see, like,
know the system.
Huntsman made some money.
Yeah, it's a big visual movie, so he has the expertise in that But yeah, I mean, when they're successful, sadly,
they've made Transformers movies,
money.
and they make money.
Well,
the
particular writer that we're referencing with the Transformers 2, 3, and 4, when you look at his filmography, that I don't get, because it's like over like 15 years, and it's like garbage. That one was okay, garbage. Yeah. It's like, why are you still getting hired?
Because he's playing the politics. He's probably a good yes man.
Probably. And also, he doesn't write movies for the critics, man. He writes for the fans. Yeah. He writes for the fans.
He's probably really charismatic, and like you meet him, and you're like, I love that guy. And then he hands over like a script written in crayon, and you're like, oh, boy.
Okay, well,
we're getting real.
When are we shooting? Yesterday? Okay.
Great work, Dave.
Yeah. He's never coming on the show. All right, let's go.
We didn't say who it was.
Don't know who it is.
No.
His name's not
comes
Dave.
The glossy Hollywood adaptation of a beloved Japanese anime that goes about as well as you'd expect. Ghost in the Shell.
Nope.
Hollywood is running out of stuff from the 80s and 90s to remake. Now they're remaking a film they've already been ripping off for decades, but with controversial casting, a dumbed-down plot,
your shell belongs to them, but not your ghost.
Just enough recreated scenes from the anime to put it in the trailers, and a complete lack of understanding about what made the franchise popular to begin with. Because as Dragon Ball Evolution taught American film executives, if at first you don't succeed, blame the reviews and learn nothing from your mistakes.
Pause. Do we want to speak of the trap that we almost stepped into with the potential misunderstanding of our point on that part of the video?
Yeah, because we were going to call out more than just Dragon Ball Z. We had Astro Boy and Speed Racer, but we realized that
Speed Racer is
so
it's beloved by many,
for the people who've seen it, and we just meant critically or commercially successful, and that was a nuance that would of course get lost.
It's called the Megamind dilemma, where we mention a movie that people like in the context of, like, we were just saying that Megamind we didn't think people remembered very much, and we were very much proven wrong on that.
People didn't see it. Not you, person who saw Megamind. Right. You saw it, but people as a movie-going audience did not go to see Megamind.
Not a billion-dollar hit.
Well, I red flagged this one because I actually do like Speed Racer a lot.
Yeah,
I don't remember Astro Boy. We might have been able to keep that one in, but Speed Racer was a flag to me. Like, do we want the Megamind in this? Because I think we'll get it.
Yeah.
And we did pull it.
Yeah. The point we were trying to make was that Speed Racer was an adaptation that was not successful, and that many people, the studio just kind of moved on from and didn't really change anything about marketing or anything.
Bad release,
However, that is a bad release, and right
after Iron Man.
Yeah, we didn't feel like the subtlety got through, and we didn't want all of the comments
not
to
worth
be,
it.
Speed Racer's amazing.
Dragon Ball Evolution
we all like
is
Speed Racer.
Universally hated.
Yes.
I did want to hit. I meant to pause it on our shot comparison with the anime, but people keep saying, like, this was such a beautiful movie, though, and it's like, look at the compare. The original movie is set in post-apocalyptic Japan. It's a post-apocalyptic city, and it's still so much brighter. This whole movie is so dark. It's like, I can't even tell that the spider tank is in
that's true.
that middle frame. Like,
it's a very dark movie.
Yeah, it's just like you can't
always
see
cloudy.
any of it.
I don't think it's ever daytime except that one scene in the fountain.
Yeah.
And when she goes to visit her Asian mom.
CGI is always cheaper in the dark.
We'll get to that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. CGI is much cheaper in the dark.
That's it.
Anyway,
moving on.
Let's get out of here.
You've seen Scarlett Johansson as a special ops soldier, an enhanced human, a stoic outsider, a sexy robot voice.
Can you feel me with you right now?
And a white girl feeling out of place in Asia. Now she'll combine them all as the Major, an enhanced special ops sexy robot voice stoic outsider white girl who feels out of place in Asia.
I don't know who to trust anymore.
She's a RoboCop with a weird robo-walk.
It's a weird
and
walk.
only one weakness,
it's a weird choice.
Getting snuck up on by dudes with tasers.
It keeps happening.
You know,
she's also a
for
robot.
all the gadgets, we invest in a rear camera.
Man.
Yeah.
Watch as the studio avoids a whitewashing controversy by showing off how multicultural their version of Hong Kong is, and explaining that Major's body is just a robot shell for someone else's brain.
We made you a new body, a synthetic shell, but your ghost is still in there.
Which, alright, I'll bite, then cringe in disbelief as the studio manages to ruin their own solution by revealing that, yep, she was full-blown Japanese all along.
What's your name?
Way to double down, gang. You just tried to put out a dumpster fire with a much larger, easily avoidable dumpster fire.
Hold on, I don't think that's all Japanese people want to be white Scarlett Johanssons.
I mean, everyone wants to be Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
But I think that they had a solution, which was her brain came from parents, and they even mentioned her parents like died on a boat over to this country. It's like, okay, so she's an immigrant cyborg.
Yeah.
All right,
The culture was very vague and not really brought up, and it's like, hey, they just took the brain and put it in a body, and
All
it's
right,
like, oh,
it's
this body's weird.
which
I
is
don't know
like,
who I am,
which is like,
fine.
yeah, it's not like the best solution, but it's like, okay, like we sent when they wanted someone to go to Hong Kong for. Did we send someone to Hong Kong or Tokyo for this? I can't remember. We sent Mari, and she was like, I don't love it, but I'll buy it. And it's like, okay, you pulled it off, you figured it out. And they're like, nope, the brain is a Japanese lady. Like, what did you do?
To be fair, I have seen in the comments a little bit of it. It's actually started a discussion, which is great, by the way. I love that people are actually having a discussion about this and not
sort of
just,
politely too.
Yeah, kind of a polite discussion, and even countering
it's
us.
weird.
It's like,
It's real weird.
Part of the movie is about the cultural disconnect of being a Japanese person in a cyborg's body. Like, I didn't pick up those themes from the movie myself. For me, it was very much more of just like, I spent a lot of the movie going like, you know what, they kind of sidestepped this nicely and constructed the world to kind of get rid of this controversy.
Yeah,
and then
I think
it's
that
like
the original is a really Japanese story because it's like a post-apocalyptic Japan. I'm pretty sure it's Japan, and they're like, it's all about have we retained our soul or have we given into like commercialism and like corporations and like handed over our humanity? So, which is like a post-war Japan in like the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they wanted their cake and they wanted to eat it too. So
They wanted their cake, and then they wanted to put that cake into a body, a robotic body, and then that looked like Scarlett Johansson.
I mean, watching it again, I wasn't necessarily, I wouldn't say I was offended by it, but it was really more of just like, I was in my head, I was like, wow, movie. Like, I was kind of giving you points for how deftly you maneuvered around that controversy, and then, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but then you just dropped yourself even deeper into that vat of just, like, making it controversial again. It's like, that just seemed like an unforced error.
And the thing of it is because this movie just sort of feels shallow, like we said. You know, it's like they don't really... How interesting would it have been if they had really leaned into that? Like, no, you were, instead of just making that a silly, dumb reveal, like Easter egg, no, it's the character's name from the original at the end. If they had really leaned into, you're now a Japanese lady in this white robot body, like, and
she
really
felt even more like an outsider and like more unable to connect with her family and stuff like that.
But they could have, if they'd gone that way again, it's like, okay, well, you did that, but then you made that into a very complex issue in the movie, but they didn't. It was just like, oh, it's a reveal. And by the way, we didn't even mention Michael Pitt, also Japanese. So actually two Japanese people in robot bodies. But yeah, no, I agree. Like, I feel like they wanted to go down a weird road with that, but they didn't really. So it was just kind of this weird disconnect of like, what? Like, I don't know. It seemed very kind of tone deaf to what they knew the controversy with Scarlett Johansson existed anyway, and it just seemed weird of like sidestep but then go back into it.
Yeah, lean into it. Show us more flashbacks and like actually make those two sort of like parallel threads, and the wasted opportunity.
That would have been an interesting movie though, Jim.
Yes. How dare I?
How dare you?
How dare you not give me that, Transformers 2 writer?
Much larger, easily avoidable dumpster fire. Jack in as the Major teams up with side characters who get 2 to 4 lines of dialogue.
They are nothing in
led
this
by
movie.
Japanese legend Beat Takeshi, who was smart enough to know this movie wasn't worth speaking English for.
証明できるか回収してほしい低級な行動を寄せと言っといたの
Together, they'll chase down an evil Max Headroom hacker.
Lessons took from my failure.
This is a headroom.
In a cat and mouse game of shifting loyalties that will have you wondering, can you see your boobs or not? I can't tell. And I definitely don't care what else is going on. This movie's really boring. So gear up for the latest movie with John Carter syndrome, where the source material was so influential that now it feels like it's copying the films it inspired, and witness the newest lame attempt at a live-action anime film, which we should really just leave to the Japanese at this point.
Yeah, they have a pretty mixed track record on live-action anime.
That tag was
not.
so you. That
Starring
such a smart pull.
I watched that one.
turning Japanese.
It was so dumb. Good show, as you can attest. Man, that movie
is bad.
It's like a porn parody.
It looks kind of funny though.
It's not supposed to be,
Right.
but yes.
The Full Metal movie looks horrible too.
I hear it's good.
Oh, I hope so, because the stuff I saw was just like,
We'll see. Or we won't.
Is Akira happening? They keep saying it's
Probably.
happening.
Something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I want to
It's
see
kind of
Joe
like-
and Spencer review Japanese anime movies. Yeah, that sounds like a fun bit.
Yeah, we can do it.
Let's do it. Flickbait. Yay.
Clickbait. Yeah. Or just a real review.
All right.
Wait, we're gonna do something non.
Welcome to the Weeaboo Corner with Joe and Spencer.
Yeah, get ready for that.
We've whitewashed our own reviewing staff. Yeah, let's give our POVs.
Good titles by Robert.
Yeah, Robert. Again, Robert
Turning Japanese. Oh yes, I'm turning
amazing
Japanese. I
graphics
really
guy.
think so. Cable. Beat Takeshi. Beat Takeshi. Palpatine.
Keep pause.
Business in the front.
I just want to point out that because I've been binging it lately, is that Beat Takeshi is on my favorite TV show of all time, The Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. Have you seen that? Yeah. There's full episodes on YouTube, so watch that. And it's just overdubbed Japanese obstacle course.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
And I don't know. He's the announcer
Takeshi,
guy Takeshi.
I don't know who the American counterpart to him would be, because he's like directed a million films. He's a legit movie star over there, but then he also like hosts game
shows, and the original I think is called Takeshi's Castle, and the obstacle course is apparently to just get inside his house.
Yeah.
That's the original premise of the show.
And, like, he's got all these weird like side businesses that he does infomercials for. Check him out. He's a weird
Japanese
cat.
game shows are the best.
The best.
They really
So
are.
much better. They're like years ahead.
Better. Yes, I agree.
Just trying to think who the current day Beat Takeshi would be.
I don't know,
Yeah,
or
someone
even
who
just
kinda
like the
does it
American
all.
counterpoint. I don't know.
Say in the comments below. Who's the
let us
American
know.
Beat Takeshi?
Beat Takeshi. Palpatine. Business in the front. Party in the back.
Okay.
Holy crap, is that top dollar? And literal whitewashing.
Very Westworld.
Bicentennial Woman.
Cybermech liver. Been saving up for a while. Now it's last call every night.
Guys, your friend is an alcoholic.
That's something we didn't really touch on.
Pac-Man?
Yeah, they're dancing Pac-Man or something.
Yeah.
Is how like all the cybernetic augments like seem to really mess you up and malfunction all the time. Like,
Yeah, it
doesn't
seems like a
seem
terrible
worth it.
idea.
Like his
Everyone's-
eyes are like these. They look terrible. Looks infected.
Everyone's getting hacked all the time, but everyone's like, yeah, put more
Yeah, do that.
crap in me.
I did love. We didn't have room for it, but I did love some of the dialogue that got written into this movie. It's just like, you can't do an unprotected dive into that corrupted geisha. I'm like, wow, that is a weird. That is a weird world that we live in, where this is a movie where
I'm sure that's happening right now, Dan.
You're in a corrupted. You got a virus from a corrupted geisha. Like, what?
What is this?
That's
Okay.
not from the original?
I don't know.
Did that in college once.
I was going to give a shout out to TJ for editing this week, because we were stuck
Yes,
at Comic-Con. He was
TJ,
stuck with us,
thank
but
you.
did work. And
Yeah.
we have some outtakes, I think, of alternate jokes.
We did some re-recording because we had to.
You know, for all the gadgets, maybe invest in a rear camera. I mean, even my epic minivan has one of those.
Ha! Ha!
Who turns out to be a rebel fighting the real bad guys, the company that's pretending to be good. Oh man, you might not think this movie's offensive, but it's definitely offensively boring. Starring
almost, John.
Yeah.
Bionic Commando, Baymax,
I like Baymax.
Emobot, Cable Guy, and giving top billing to the lady
You
who
can't tell the cables are going in.
and
Yeah, I know.
give Cable Guy and giving top billing to the lady whose space
wow,
they based
yeah,
a
this does
geisha
not
on,
work.
so more
All right.
Japanese actors would be featured in the cast.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that
The
did not work.
Terminator, Westwashed, the whitest Borgs you know.
That's funny.
We debated about that one.
Yeah, we did.
All right.
There we
There
go.
it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Those are our alt jokes that didn't make it.
That last one, that the wall of text was what's her name, Rila something. She's in like all the Arrow shows and all that. They made such a huge deal after they announced Scarlett Johansson as the Major. Like all the trades were like, guess who else joined the cast? And their unknown role, and then it ended up she was just like the motion.
A silent geisha.
Yeah, yeah. They just like used her face to base the geisha on, and it's like it was such like a damage control thing after they announced Scarlet. But yeah, that wall of text did not work. Good call, gentlemen.
Seems a little long. Yeah. It's tricks
Anything
and
else?
trailer. Of the Honest Trailer.
Anything else you
business.
got on this one, guys? Sounds like they don't. Yeah, this was a weird one. That movie is a weird choice to make.
And we did it in between like Comic-Con
sleepy
stuff.
Comic-Con that we're still catching up on, but I'm glad we got it out, and good
Yeah.
work, team. And thanks to you all for watching. We'll be back next week with another Honest Trailer Commentary. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Cable Guy and